Hey everybody, it's Coach Jackie. Welcome to Win the Day. We are here every week just to speak a word of encouragement into your life to go for the John 10:10 life that Jesus came for us to live. And if you do one thing every day, you will have done 365 things in a year that's going to get you closer to your goal. How could you not be successful, right? We believe that true success is an inside job, which means that we have to think differently. And this is why we want to renew our minds. We're transformed by the renewing of our minds, meaning we have to think different thoughts if we want better results, because your belief is what drives your behavior, which shows up in your results. So you can't just look at the results, you have to look at the actions that are producing those results. This is why it's an inside job, because we have to think differently. So I'm so glad that you're here. We are still talking about this month, we are talking about the superpower and the abundant life principle of honesty. Proverbs 11:3 tells us that the integrity of the honest keeps them on track. And so, what we're talking about is the role of honesty in living a successful and a rewarding life. Listen, do me a favor. We don't grow alone. Share the broadcast. Invite somebody to grow with us. While you're doing that, I am going to give a shout out to my big brother, David Leonard, who tells me that he watches all of my broadcasts. What a blessing that is. And thank you for allowing me to speak into your life. Have you shared the broadcast yet? All right, you ready? Let's grow. We're still talking about the role of honesty in living a successful and a rewarding life. And last week we talked about not justifying or rationalizing our actions, based on everybody's doing it or it's really not hurting anyone, because that really is the worst type of dishonesty, not to recognize the absolute nature of honesty, right? Operating on the assumption that there are different standards of honesty. And when we do that, we end up cheating our own personal integrity. We drain or we leak our personal power because we're cheating ourselves. So the first thing we want to do, right, is we want to be honest with ourselves. We must be honest and value honesty with ourselves before we can even be honest with others, and before we can really begin to identify our true intentions and our goals. Here's what honesty does: it allows you to be authentic. And listen, it requires the courage and the willingness to look at yourself and not pull any punches in terms of who it is that you are and who it is you need to be or to become in order to do what it is that you say you want to do, right? So, I'm going to give you three things or questions that you can ask yourself to help you to remain honest in communications with others and with yourself. This is something that I've learned, I'm learning, and I really have to work hard at this, right? But I think it's going to help you too, right? Three questions. Number one, first question: did I fully and honestly communicate what I really needed to say? That's a powerful question. In your communications with others, did I fully and honestly communicate what I really needed to say? Number two, did I hold back in any way? We do this a lot, right? And if so, was there something that I could have said to address my points more honestly? Come on. Is there something that I could have said to address my points more honestly? And number three, this is a huge one: was I so preoccupied with how the other person might react that I edited my communication to something that was less than honest. I think we contend with that one a lot as well. Was I so preoccupied with how the other person might react that I edited my communication to something that was less than honest? In order to do this, we're going to have to move beyond our comfort zone. We're communicating with ourselves, communicating our hopes, our desires, with other people. That's going to take us moving out of our comfort zone. And we're going to talk about that next week. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak into your life. Listen, you have so much more. Let us have it. And remember, we never grow alone. Share this broadcast with a friend. I wish you a winning week, and I will see you next time on Win the Day with Coach Jackie. Blessings. Sun is